Wait, you guys. Go. Go ahead. All right, start.
We have made it to the end of an era. Class of 2019, I would like to congratulate you on making it through high school. We have all learned so much in the last 4 years, both inside and outside of the classroom. Most people might talk about all the things they know now or all the things they've been through or try to pass their wisdom on to you. But I want to talk about what I don't know. I've realized I don't actually know what most people's faces look like. People I have classes with, people I've seen in the halls for years, people who I follow on Instagram. I see them and I recognize them and I could pick them out of a lineup, but somehow I don't really know what they look like. This moment of realization usually comes when I actually take the time to have a conversation with them, when I'm presented with the opportunity to look them in the face for longer than a few seconds. And it makes me think about all the things I think I know, but I might not actually know at all, things I never bothered to study any deeper than surface level. Our whole lives, our heads have been crammed with things we're supposed to need to succeed, but how much of that do we actually know? How many people or concepts or places have we not given more than a glance at when we thought we knew them backwards and forwards? Something about not knowing what I thought I knew doesn't sit well with me. But what I do know is that no one ever got anywhere by focusing on all the things they don't know or they might never know. Instead, I encourage you to move into the future following 2 rules of thumb. Firstly, learn and love deeply. Part of the reason my knowledge of so many people is so shallow is due to my fear of being vulnerable. High school is a scary place for everyone. It's one of those phases in life that everyone kind of dreads beforehand and cringes about afterwards. But the real world isn't any less terrifying. One of my biggest regrets is letting my fear of rejection stop me from allowing myself to fully open up to new experiences, people, and ideas. Surface level is safe, but with depth of understanding comes richer relationships, a richer life, a life filled with less what-ifs and more remember-whens. Second, learn from your past when crafting your future. The truth is, we're all clueless kids that are about to turn into clueless adults. You might not know where you're going, but you know where you've been. Life is never going to hand you the answer to your problems. It's never going to point you in the direction you should be going. But it might just drop a few hints about how to get there yourself. Use your knowledge of the past as a guide. Acknowledge the mistakes you've made rather than feeling ashamed of them. And most importantly, learn from them so you didn't make them for no reason. Listen to adults who have the luxury of hindsight. They've been through what you're going through, and they're wiser because of it. Even with those 2 pieces of advice at the forefront of my mind, I'm the first to admit that change terrifies me. The last 4 years were difficult at times, I'm gonna be honest. We all thought we'd made it past the darkest days back in middle school, when it was cool to plan days, when everyone matched, and basic algebra was the bane of our existence. But all that was unfortunately only the beginning of a long line of unpleasant experiences. People change, they go in different directions or leave without saying goodbye. Life has a way of leaving you lost just when you thought you had it all figured out. Truth be told though, when I think about what my high school experience was like, 9 out of 10 memories are the best ones of my life. I've learned that sometimes you just have to make the best of the cards you're dealt. There are so many things I still have to learn, but that's just a part of growing up, and I have a lot more growing to do. So yeah, the last 4 years were hard, and the next 4 might be harder. That doesn't scare me though, and it shouldn't, because easier doesn't always mean better. As Freud once said, one day, in retrospect, the years of struggle will strike you as the most beautiful. From where I'm standing, it's one hell of a view.